Joey, match day -1, another big European night in Talca Park. How are you feeling?
Yeah, great, Ben. Really looking forward to obviously all the prep's sort of done now, you know. So yeah, obviously got back in after the Pats game and yeah, got straight down to work. Really looking at Linfield. The guys obviously are familiar with them. Obviously, I've only had to play them a few weeks ago, so yeah, made it a little bit easier in that sense, I suppose. Looking at video that the players that you played against and stuff like that. But here they've changed one or two things, I suppose, how they're playing and stuff. So yeah, we just touched on that. Yeah, went through training there today and all that, so all ready to rock for tomorrow.
There is that sense of familiarity. Obviously, haven't played them already. It's a bit weird when you're looking at footage and you can actually pinpoint where your players can make mistakes, and you can look back and say, look, you need to be sharper here or better here.
No, it is definitely. It's strange. Obviously in Europe, you know, it's pretty strange that you come up against the same team like in a few weeks in the same sort of European run. But here it is what it is. As I said, that both teams are sort of familiar with each other, setups and stuff like that, and players, so it makes it a little bit easier in that sense. But here, still, you look back at the two games, you realise there was nothing really in the games, really in both of them. You know, could have went probably either way. So yeah, it's going to be a really tough game over the two legs. But one we're really looking forward to. And here it's an absolute privilege, as I said to the lads, to have this game here in front of our own fans, and yeah, it's a monster occasion. But yeah, you just got to go out and focus on your performance, and I think if we do that, then yeah, it should be good.
Both teams have a lot more European experience under the belt. Do you think that's going to stand and make it probably a different game than we've seen before?
Yeah, but as I said here, it was a tight game. When you look back at as I said, the 4 halves of football that played between us, not really a lot in it. We'd obviously stood the stuff in it that we think we can improve on. I'm sure it's the same for them, you know. So here that they've obviously had a couple of good wins. In Europe, we've probably had a couple of good performances. Yeah, obviously a win, but obviously been knocked out in the last 2 rounds. But really good opposition that we came up against. So here you'd like to think we're both coming into it. Here squad has changed a little bit since we played them. They've obviously brought in a couple of new players as well. So here's a couple of tweaks, I suppose, and a couple of changes of personnel. But I think overall the guts of both teams are still there, you know.
As you said, we've brought in some real quality in the transfer window. A real chance for those players to kind of impose themselves in the squad with such a big occasion.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, we brought in a few new players, and obviously lads that were there, and then a few lads come back from injury and all that. So the squad's very strong. Obviously, Connor is out. Obviously, disappointing for Connor and for us off the back of the weekend's game. But here, everyone else is sort of back into it, and as I think I've said, Tariq and Jack have been training now the last 10 days or so. Boydie's back. Boydie's been back on the pitch running and stuff like that. So again, he's back in the squad. So it's yeah, no, it's great to have that squad. I suppose you see the strength in the squad that I've been banging on about the last few weeks, and yeah, you really see it there now when you see all the bodies back on the pitch.
Some great news on Tariq. Obviously, his injury did look a bad one.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and we thought he was obviously going to be gone for the season, really. So again, but all credit, listen to the lads in the background and Tariq. One thing about Tariq, when he's off the pitch, works ever so hard. You see him, the effort he puts into his rehab and his fitness to make sure that when he gets it back on the pitch, that his fitness is there, and that's obviously aids his recovery, you know. And it's yeah, great credit to him.
You've spoken about us turning hurt into hunger. That could probably be said as well for Linfield, given look our celebrations when we did win up there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure they're motivated, but here to be motivated anyway, I think that my motivation would be to get to the group stage. What our motivation is, I think you start using stuff like that. As I said here, we were hurting the other night against Rijeka, and when they were celebrating on the pitch and stuff like that. But I suppose when you win these tight games and what's at stake here, you're allowed to celebrate. And I think it'll be the same. Whoever comes out victorious at the end of this and in next week's time, it'll be the same. I mean, that's why we're involved in it. It's them moments of enjoyment and celebrating and being excited. And yeah, that's what it is. And I touched on it the other night about the hurt that we had in our dressing room. Here it wasn't a slight against Rijeka for celebrating. It was more, that's what we want. That's what we want to achieve over the next couple of weeks. And here we have an opportunity tomorrow to start the ball rolling. And hopefully, as I said, we just focus on our performance and nail it.
4 halves of football between us and group stage football. As motivating as that is, it's important to really keep the focus and not grip the bat too tight.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's about obviously staying in the moment, staying present. And here, I think for their lads, sometimes you hear that on the outside. It's about it's not. That's all you can control is your own performance, really. And I've been hammering that home to the lads. It's here since not just about this game, since the start. The outside noise and stuff like that, and what's at stake and all that. You can't let that come into you. Yeah, it can come in obviously, and it motivates you. But ultimately, it's a privilege. It's not a pressure, you know, to have this opportunity that we have for this football club and for the lads themselves as players to get more European football. And ultimately, that's what it's about. I'm sure every one of them, as the fans and people have seen, the opposition that you come up against in Europe is top opposition. That's what you want. You want to challenge yourself as a player. That's the same again tomorrow over the back both sets of teams will want to qualify for that, to continue on that journey and continue on that European run. But going back to it, it's just about focusing on your performance and making sure quarter 8 you start on the front foot and you nail your performance.
It's another magical night ahead of us in Talca Park. How important are the fans going to be, especially in the first leg?
Yeah, it'd be brilliant. I think the atmosphere here will be brilliant. You know, it has been brilliant over the last few games here, and I'd imagine it'll definitely be the same again, if not louder. Now it's been brilliant. I think the atmosphere here against Rijeka, really special night. You know, a night that I won't forget. How the emotion on the ground, I suppose, the ups and downs of the football, and here that's why we all love the game, isn't it? It's like that moments you think you have it and then it's snatched away from you and you're back at it. And here to see the fan base at the end staying with the lads, and how proud the lads were and how proud I was of them as a group, and the fans there, it was a real special moment that I won't forget.
Thanks, Rory. Best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.